you have some questions, post them in the comments and we'll try to get to them. But I have 2 questions specifically that people have asked me that I didn't answer, and I want to just, me and you can talk about them. So they wanted to know why a guy who finds you unattractive would repeatedly ask for sex even if the girl refuses. Why would a guy who likes other girls more want to just have sex with you when when he's not interested?
Because humans are also animalistic.
Yes.
And we see something, it's like, I want that. And so I think that's part of the sinful human side of needing to attack and conquer something. And it's needing to get their pleasure, and the man's selfish and wants his pleasure and thinks that you're a target for that. And maybe you've given signs that that's something that you're don't have the strength to say no, or he thinks that if he keeps asking and keeps knocking, eventually you'll give and he can get his pleasure and then be done. So you're a tool to satisfy his flesh. And so I think it's just a selfish, sinful, conquering kind of animalistic thing. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
No, it is. It's true. I was thinking about when you said that, especially guys, because guys can have unemotional sex a lot easier than women. So we can hit it and quit it, no problem. Guys don't even really have to be that physically attracted to a girl to have sex with her.
Right.
Like, I remember I was with a friend. This is a long time ago, but we were driving from Baltimore to Florida, and we stopped in Georgia to get a hotel for the night. And we stopped. There at this exit off of 95 was this, like, basically it was like all these trucker restaurants, and they had this little strip club where all these truckers were. So we were like, okay, let's go check it out. Of course I wasn't a believer at the time. So I go in this strip club, and there's there on the stage there was like a woman, and she had to be about 70 years old. She was wrinkled from head to toe, and there's a bunch of dudes sitting around the stage looking at her. And they were tipping her. And I was thinking, what are they looking at? I'm like, guys, we are just animals. Like, we'll look at anything naked. So a guy doesn't even really have to be that physically attracted to you to hit it, just to have sex with you. But it's almost like what Reedland said is this animalistic. If you take a wounded fish and you drop it in the water, a shark or something's going to come along and eat that fish, because you see the wound, thing. It's not like it's coming along trying to help it. It's like, okay, there's lunch. And that's a lot of times selfish men, like predators, will look at women as prey, and they'll just want to devour them for their own purposes, especially sometimes if they're broken, because they're easy targets.
Yeah, it's like a shark sniffing blood. If he can tell a woman maybe has insecurities of never got affirmation from her dad, there's like, or you can pinpoint if someone has like father issues pretty easily, actually. And I think that there's some women that, also if they're putting it out there, if they're putting out images on social media, showing off their body, or there's just a look and a vibe, that you can put out on social media that says, I need attention. And typically, I think you could trace that back to never really knew who they were as a woman, and don't know who their identity as a woman of God. And I think animalistic guys that are not believers and not trying to wait, they can sniff that. It's kind of like a shark sniffing blood. And they know how to maneuver and get in there and, get their action. And, but I think I don't know if the woman feels like they get validated by giving that physical affection away, so. But I think you can kind of sniff it when a guy has selfish intentions, and they can kind of see signs of how they could get in. So
no, totally. I love what you said too about social media, because women will be, they'll post these provocative pictures, and or even women that just dress really sexy, and they're, and then they wonder why they can't find a good man, because I'm like, the good guys don't bite on that you're using the wrong bait.
Now it's like super attractive for me if someone has like 200 followers and they're not active on social media. It's like, oh, I'm interested. That's attractive.
Yeah. No,
You don't need that validation from all these people you don't know. That's attractive to me. That's it's something I look at. So
yeah, like, I tell women, I think a lot of women are afraid to make the the commitment or the take the stance of waiting, because they believe the lie of the enemy, and he comes at you with fear and says, hey, no one will wait. If you wait, no one will ever come along. No, you'll never find anybody, because no one waits anymore. So he lies and makes you afraid. Your behaviors will attract it'll repel the wrong people, and it will attract the right people, whether it's not being that active on social media or dressing super sexy or waiting or not waiting. You're going to attract who you are, not what you want. You might be like, I really want a guy that treats me good and loves me and will respect me. And I'm like, well, first you have to be that, and you have to respect yourself and not give it out, and then you'll attract it. So I really liked what you said.